Good afternoon. I'm Richard Ice, Provost of the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. You may be seated. Welcome to the 104th Annual Commencement Exercises. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome all of you, the families, friends, honored guests, faculty, staff, and especially the 2019 graduating class of the College of St. Benedict. I invite Sister Sharon Noner, Director of Campus Ministry, to the platform to give the invocation.
On this day, gracious God, we pray for these young women, the 2019 graduates of the College of St. Benedict, their friends and family who offer unconditional love, and our faculty, staff, and Benedictine community who continue to support them in this new beginning, which you have been quietly forming, waiting until they were ready to emerge. And now the delight, with their courage kindled, they take their first step on new ground. A new rhythm is about to begin. Though the destination may be unclear, may they find hope in you and trust in the promise of a new dawn, unfurling their hearts into the grace of beginning. May the integrity of their intellect be true light, challenging one-sided certainties and half-truths, illuminating the depths of your divine wisdom. We pray that their souls senses the world that awaits them, giving them courage to discover what the unknown yields, standing on the cusp of change where faith and reason meet, liberating the unlimited potential of the human spirit. May they live in faith, whose social manifestation is compassion, and whose public expression is justice, building a society for the common good, a society that honors the dignity of persons. May these young women make their power felt through love, discovering the deeper meanings of all things and the sacredness of the life that is entrusted to them. May they go forth, guided by your grace, and let their light shine. Amen.
Greetings, members of the College of St. Benedict Board of Trustees, Sister Susan Rudolph Prioress, and all of the sisters of the Order of St. Benedict, St. John's University President Michael Hemisath, esteemed faculty and staff, proud parents, and most especially our graduating seniors. Please accept my most heartfelt welcome to the 104th commencement ceremony at the College of St. Benedict. It is indeed a privilege to stand before you on the most significant and joyful day of the academic calendar. Bennies, I came across a quote recently that made me think of each of you. Behind you, all your memories. Before you, all your dreams. Around you, all who love you. Within you, all you need. It has truly been a privilege to journey with you. As a community that is soon to be behind you, please know that you have made us better, The spirit of justice, action, and love that you brought to the College of St. Benedict was palpable since you first arrived on our campus. Even as you stood with and stood up for each other over this past week, you have always been focused on supporting and advocating for one another and a more just world. As I shared with you at your senior dinner, you are an amazing group of spiritual warriors who have transformed this place. I hope that your memories will be defined by the ways you excelled, learned to lead, and grew at St. Ben's. I pray that it will be those moments of learning, courage, and kindness that will illuminate your memories of your time here. This memory, these 4 years, are but the beginning of your grand story. As you look before you, as you dream big dreams, know that you are equipped to excel in the world. Your liberal arts education has prepared you to face whatever professional, civic, or personal opportunities or challenges you will encounter. You have the depth of knowledge acquired in your academic discipline and the breadth of knowledge acquired as a liberal arts graduate. You are ready to chase your dreams. Whether you have already accepted a job offer, been admitted to graduate school, are planning for full-time volunteer service, or remain undecided about your next step, know that you are prepared, Bennies, for whatever choice you make. Know that your sense of engagement and your thirst for learning will serve you and the world well. Now, look around you, Bennies. Next to you are the only women in the world who shared this experience with you at this moment in time. They know a version of you that has never been known before and that will never be known again. The women surrounding you are your Benny sisters, and I ask that you commit to lifting one another up as you've done so well during your time at St. Ben's. Hold each other and this time you share together as sacred. And I ask that you extend this capacity for sisterhood to the women you will meet in the future. One of your fellow graduates, Rede Lewy, once told me something that I want you to carry in your hearts. Where there is enough love, there is enough room. So long as you carry love for another in your hearts, there is enough room in this world for each of you to be successful in your own way, with your own goals. Know that there is room for courage, room for hope, room for peace, and room for your dreams, because within you and between you, there is love. Seated just behind you are the people who have always loved you and who will always love you. Today, you manifest their hopes and dreams for you. Today, you achieve what was planned for, what was worked towards, what was prayed for. As you approach the stage today, know that this degree for which you've worked so very hard belongs not only to you, but also to them. Your achievement today is a symbol of the gratitude that you extend to them, honoring and thanking them for investing in and supporting you. But most of all, Bennies, when your memories feel far away, when your nights are dreamless, and when you cannot find the ones you love or who love you, please know that in your hearts you carry all these things and that you are enough. Everything you need is within you. Every warm memory you've had, every dream you've ever held, every person you've loved is an inextricable part of who you are today. Within you is all the strength you need to do great things. Within you is all the joy and purpose you need to shine brightly in the world. That, Bennies, is who you are. And the fact that the College of St. Benedict is now a part of you means that wherever you go, whomever you encounter, we are there with you. We believe in you and we honor you as you are. When you are courageous and bold, you are enough. When you are discouraged and frightened, you are enough. As you are, women of great intellect, integrity, grace, and compassion, you are enough. Simply as a child of God, you are enough. To paraphrase Psalm 139, you are more than enough. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Class of 2019, on behalf of the trustees, faculty, staff, and administration of the College of St. Benedict, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve you for the past 4 years. We cannot wait to see what magnificent things you will do in the world. Behind you, all your memories. Before you, all your dreams. Around you, all who love you. Within you, all you need. I love you, and I will miss you more than words can say. Thank you.
To the women of the class of 2019 at the College of St. Benedict, I bring congratulations and greetings from your many Johnny friends, some of whom are with us today and most of the rest of whom are through the woods and over the prairies about 4 miles away celebrating with you in spirit. I thank you on their behalf for 3 things. I thank you for stretching them and challenging them in our classrooms and in our laboratories. I thank you for encouraging them to think about other perspectives and understand the way the world looks to women as opposed to young men. And finally, I thank you for your friendship to the many Johnnies that you know and have become friends with over these past 4 years. I wish you all congratulations on this great day, and I look forward to seeing how you and your Johnny friends celebrate that next chapter in your lives as alumni of these 2 great institutions. Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
Each year, it is my honor to present the President's Medal to members of the College of St. Benedict community who have demonstrated extraordinary loyalty, dedication, and service to the college and its mission. Teresa and Mark Fleischacker were first introduced to the College of St. Benedict through their daughter, Kathy, class of 2006. As a student, Kathy was an energetic Benny. She embraced everything at St. Ben's, and as a technical theater major, she had a show or play or performance to recommend to her parents seemingly every week. To this day, we remain grateful to Kathy for her diligence in engaging her parents in the life of St. Ben's. And Kathy had some divine intervention as well when Mark's aunt, Sister Sandra Fleischacker, suggested he look into becoming a St. Ben's trustee. Mark served on the college's Board of Trustees from 2003 through 2012, and then again from 2013 until his untimely death in 2018. He chaired the board's Resource Development Committee and served on its executive and trusteeship committees. He was also an active member of the Illuminating Lives Campaign Steering Committee. Mark was present in the lives of our students as a role model as well as a leader in the boardroom. In the years prior to his death, Mark served as a mentor to many students involved in the Center for Ethical Leadership in Action. Along the way, Teresa and Mark and their children, Kathy, John, and Maria, have been among St. Ben's most generous supporters. Teresa says, "Mark and I don't, and I still speak of him in the present tense because he's still here with me, do these things to get awards. We do them to make a difference, especially the giving we've done and the work that Mark did with the Center for Ethical Leadership in Action. It's so important. The business world today is dog eat dog. The political world is dog eat dog. The only way of changing that is making the people engaged in it ethical." Mark will be remembered for many things: his kindness, his compassion, his generosity, his mechanical talent, being an astute businessman, and for his love of the church. Teresa is a woman with a heart filled with love and a soul that serves others. Her strength, her courage, her compassion, and her willingness to share her beloved Mark with our community has transformed the College of St. Benedict. We thank you and we honor you, Teresa. In gratitude for their years of contributing time, talent, and treasure, we are so proud to confer the College of St. Benedict President's Medal upon both Teresa and her husband, the late Mark Fleischacker, who is always by her and our side. Congratulations. Thank you, Teresa. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. With 26 years of experience as a journalist in the broadcast industry, Mary Thompson may be a familiar face to many of you. During her 16 years with CNBC, she covered the finance and insurance industries as well as disasters, both natural and man-made, including Hurricane Katrina, the Madoff scandal, the financial crisis, and other worldwide concerns. Mary's career began at Bloomberg News, one of only a few women to have worked that desk. Currently, Mary is an advisor to the G100 Network, a global provider of peer-to-peer executive education, and she holds a BA in English from the University of Notre Dame and an MS in journalism from Columbia University. Today, you will learn about Mary's deep commitment to developing women's leadership. She has succeeded throughout her career in industries and environments that were not always welcoming to women. Yet her dedication has not only enabled her to change that world, but to create pathways for other women just like you to succeed. Her commitment to women's leadership is not only in the workplace, but also in her home, the church, and the community, where she encourages women to invest in and support their well-being in order to enable them to serve the world. I am especially grateful for Mary's service and leadership on the College of St. Benedict Board of Trustees. Now in her 6th year of service, in the coming year, she will chair our newest committee, College for Women, Mission, Vision, and Strategic Directions. Always willing to meet with and mentor students, Mary's work on the board has had an important positive impact for Benny's. She's ensuring that our board's work is student-centered, committed to women's development, and mission-driven. Please join me in welcoming Mary Thompson to the podium.
Thank you, President Hinton. Fellow trustees of the College of St. Benedict, sisters of the Monastery of St. Benedict, faculty and staff, Teresa and Mark, because we know he is with us, family and parents, good afternoon. And to the class of 2019, good afternoon and congratulations. I can't tell you how pleased I am to be here today and how honored I am to be your commencement speaker. As a trustee, I'll share I'm also experiencing more than a few of the emotions I believe your parents are feeling right now. Why? Because 4 years ago, along with the other trustees, I was anxiously awaiting your arrival. We had a general idea of your numbers, of your backgrounds, your abilities, but like new parents, we wanted to see you, to hear you, to understand the possibility of you and what you could become here at St. Ben's. It is with joy we received you, and it is with mixed emotions that we send you off. A class that is the most diverse in St. Ben's history, fittingly produced the most diverse student senate. A class that saw consistent excellence from the golf, softball, and volleyball teams. A class that saw their campus transformed with new playing fields, and a class that sought transformation on this campus through protests and conversations when chants of Build That Wall on the Link initiated a call to action by the women of St. Benedict. But after 4 years, it is time to fully embrace St. Ben's motto and let your light shine in the greater world, a world that needs your light's warmth, your light's brilliance, and your light's own special shimmer. It was almost 7 years ago to this day that I sat in the back of Clemens Fieldhouse to hear another woman named Thompson give the commencement address. It was my sister Anne, the chief environmental correspondent for NBC News, a fitting speaker given St. Benedict's devotion to making this world a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable place, a devotion exemplified by this class's work to eliminate single-use plastics here on campus. Well done. I'd come with my sister to offer support as it was her first commencement speech, and both of us came away more than a little bit in love with this place. We raved about Sister Michaela. We told everyone we could about the pride we saw in the alumni and parents. We spoke of the beauty of the Renner House and of Sacred Heart Chapel. And we talked about the joy we saw in the students. And I also liked the Benny bars a lot. I left a fan, but I never thought I'd be back. But former President Mary Ann Banneker had other plans. A few months after graduation, she called me and asked me to be a trustee. Now, I'd never been a trustee before. I was a journalist at the time, and about 20 years before that, a salesperson. I had no connection to St. Ben's, but I am a product of and a firm believer in the power of Catholic education because of the way it expands the mind as well as the heart. I also, having graduated from an all-girls high school, I know that women's schools have and will continue to build powerful foundations for future leaders. So when Marianne asked, I asked myself, who would not want to be part of this mission? I said yes, and I am confident that you have too. Here at St. Ben's, we promise to form women who think critically. Will you be the generation to change the fact that women have been the majority of voters in every presidential election since 1964, and yet remain a minority when it comes to holding public office? We say our graduates will lead courageously. Will you be the generation where the percentage of women leading Fortune 500 companies, one of them who is a St. Ben's graduate, Corey Berry, who will be the CEO of Best Buy, will you be part of the generation that moves that percentage from the single digits to a number well beyond 50? We promise, Bennies, will advocate passionately. Will you be the generation where a woman is no longer described as the first woman to lead a school, a company, a church, a state, or a nation, but only described as the most qualified person to do so? Say yes. You could be that generation because as a generation, you are by all accounts more tolerant than those before you. You have had a greater exposure to different cultures and beliefs, and you want to work at places that have purpose. For too many people, tolerance, purpose, and acceptance come later at life, if it comes at all. So congratulations, you're ahead of the game, a game you are poised to change. If your generation stays true to these traits, you will create environments where women can thrive because tolerance and acceptance level the playing field. If you have a purpose, and a good one, you will only want the best people with you on the journey, and it won't matter what they look like or sound like or where they came from, only that they make your cause or company better. In my working life as a reporter for the financial networks CNBC and Bloomberg, I reported on good leaders and bad ones, mostly in business and government. At the firm where I currently work, G100 Network, I have the privilege of meeting future business leaders who come to our programs to learn and hear from past and present leaders of industry. And so as you leave St. Benedict and work to fulfill the Benny Pledge to influence history, I want to share with you some observations I have gathered over the years about leadership and women's leadership. First, no people are hungry for you to lead. At G100, we work with companies who say they want more women in leadership positions. They know it's important to have those brains, that voice, and that perspective at the table. But too often companies say, women won't say yes. This may happen to you, so be aware. You may find yourself in a job you love and you're very good at because you are smart, responsible, and diligent. Because you're good at that job, you're going to be offered another one. You may want to say no, though, because you're comfortable in that role, or maybe you don't think you have time for more responsibility. Or maybe, and we hear this a lot from companies that try to promote women, you say no because you feel you are not 100% ready for the job. But ask any leader, man or woman, and they will tell you no one is ever ready for any job. And the greatest professional growth they experienced was when they stepped out of their comfort zone and took the job they weren't ready for. Remember, the person who asks you to take on a greater role wants you there because they think you are capable. They know you are capable, not because they want you to fail. They see in you someone who may not have all the answers and skills now, but is smart enough to figure out what questions to ask and what people to surround yourself with to do the job and do it well. If you don't say yes, you can get stuck, and women who are stuck don't get to lead. Here's another bit of advice. If you want another job, if you want to lead, you need to tell them. Too often, competent people are overlooked because taking them out of a job they do well means more work for the person above them. Don't wait for the ask. The worst they can say is no, and then you can ask them, why not? Their answer will give you a roadmap to work on what you're missing. If you wait for someone to ask you, you could be waiting a long time, and you don't lead by waiting for someone else to take the first step. Keep in mind, not everyone is born with a full slate of leadership skills. More than a few leaders I've heard from over the years will say the skill that they've worked on the most was communication. And remember, there are two sides to communication. The first being what I suspect you have been taught a great deal about, the power of speaking publicly and privately. Leaders are often lauded for their oratory skills, and many should be. Clarity of message and tailoring that message to different audiences can be critical to generating followers. And at a time of crisis, a leader's words can both inspire and comfort. Leaders should not be silent, except when they're practicing the other side of communication, which is listening. And as a leader, you will need to listen. You are going to need to listen to a whole host of different people: customers, constituents, patients, parents, advocates, and enemies. We don't do enough of it today. Listening can and should be on occasion uncomfortable. You can make many assumptions looking at someone, but listening to them can change you. It can also change the person you listen to because they know they were heard. Really listening to someone is one of the greatest gifts you can give them. Prove to someone that you've listened, and their trust will follow. Here's another thing about listening. The more you listen, the more you learn, and the best leaders are always learning. Some of you may be asking right now, but what about women's leadership? What is our special role? I believe the traits that make a great leader are gender neutral and blind about color and creed. But those who have the traits, they do need help along the way. It's a rare leader who never had a teacher, a mentor, or a partner who pushed them to do greater things. So it will be your job as a woman leader to keep another part of the Benny Pledge, to empower women. So often we hear that other women don't help women, especially in the workforce. In my personal experience, that's just not true. In my career in finance and journalism, it wasn't women telling me they couldn't stop a coworker's boorish behavior, or that they didn't like the way I looked or the way I sounded. It was women who told me that I could be treated better, be better, and do better. Maggie Wilderotter is the former CEO of Frontier Communications and one half of the only sister act to have run a Fortune 500 or to have run Fortune 500 companies, as her sister Denise Morrison is the former CEO of Campbell's Soup. Maggie sits on a lot of boards and says when she joins one, if she's the only female director at the table, she makes sure she is not when she leaves. She maintains a network of women she knows who are capable of doing the job and pushes for them to be considered and appointed. She says she benefits from having other women at the table because when they join the conversation, she is no longer seen and sometimes dismissed as being only a token point of view. She says the companies benefit from the other women's insights and experiences, and her fellow female directors benefit by using their skills in a room that is too often closed to them. Leaders, and this is one trait that isn't talked about a great deal, leaders help to create other leaders. When I thought about this speech, about leadership and women's leadership, my head got really full as I struggled to decide on a single example that could be illuminating and affirming. And then I thought about what so many leaders have said, that their defining moments come at a time of crisis. When a gunman killed 50 people in 2 mosques in New Zealand earlier this year, that country and the world were given what I believe was a masterclass on leadership in crisis. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern showed where the real power lay by refusing to say the gunman's name, in effect removing him from the stage. She paid honor to the slain, asking their names be said instead. She provided shelter for the fearful in the migrant and Muslim communities, assuring them that they were New Zealanders and the perpetrator of this crime was not, and that he had no place in the country. And whether you agree with this or not, she took action to ban the weapon involved in the carnage, looking to prevent this from happening again. The Prime Minister was not afraid to act, regardless of who might disagree with her. She was defiant and caring, sympathetic and straightforward. And at that moment, I am sure that most didn't see a woman, they saw a leader willing to defend her country's culture and her people. Finally, every leader has a superpower, an element that distinguishes them in a particular way. And this is where your light comes in. a light fueled by the Benedictine values you hold dear, a light fueled by 4 years of being nurtured and challenged at a school whose purpose is to develop a woman's intellect and potential for greatness. If we have not failed you here at St. Benedict, this light will be your superpower. It can bring your vision to life, and no one can lead without a vision. So hold this light up high. It will help you see a better path. Hold your light up high so others can follow you. Hold your light up high to eliminate darkness. Share your warmth, your brilliance, your own special shimmer. Hold your light up high so that years from now, when all who are part of the journey, your journey through St. Benedict, hear and read about what you have done, hold it high so they can say yes. Thank you for having me today, and congratulations.
As the chair of the College of St. Benedicts Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to introduce the student speaker of the College of St. Benedict class of 2019, Maren Kester. Maren grew up in Bloomington, Minnesota. She is graduating today with a major in psychology and a minor in communication. During her time at St. Ben's, Maren has really embraced the Benedictine values and immersed herself in many aspects of campus life. She has served as the president of the crew rowing team, vice president of Psi Chi, and an orientation coordinator. Maren studied abroad in South Africa, was a member of the brass choir and wind ensemble, and was a Special Olympics coach. Reaching out into the community, she was also a volunteer at St. Cloud Hospital for 3 years. On Monday, May 23rd, Maren will begin her job as the International Communication Specialist for Feed My Starving Children in Eagan, Minnesota. Please join me in welcoming Maren with a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Dolan, for the introduction. From the bottom of my heart, I would also like to thank Presidents Hinton and Hemasath, family and friends, faculty and staff, administrators, and us, the class of 2019. Today is a special day. Sure, it isn't history's first commencement, but it is our commencement, a moment that can't be replaced or repeated. We like to think of commencement as a time to celebrate the past and anticipate the future, a time to muse about our 4 years here and throw our caps in the air towards what is next. And while this is all very exciting, flying caps are important after all, now is also a moment to reflect, a time to consider not just what we've done or where we might be going, but also who we are. We are students who are the first in our families to graduate. We are legacies fulfilling a family's tradition. We are from across the ocean, and we are from right down the road. We have been packed to move out since March, or we have gone through 6 tissue boxes in the past week. During a speech that President Hinton gave at the beginning of the year, she talked about how she could remember exactly what each of her kids wore on their first day of kindergarten. And I am sure many of those watching us today remember too what we wore. Now, I don't remember my outfit or what it felt like in kindergarten, but we can remember what it felt like when we graduated from high school. We will all surely remember what we are feeling today. There's so much that we share. We lit a candle at orientation. We enjoyed Gretzky's chocolate lava cake or Special K bars. We walked from Aurora, Regina, and Corona to the Gretzky bus stop, and we are all now moving on to the next chapter of our lives. And hey, do you all remember that time where our entire class got together to cheer on the Johnny football team at Clemens Stadium? Yeah, me neither. Because it didn't happen. Not everyone here chose to go to football games or the bars. Not everyone studied abroad, went to mass, or played a sport. The experience of being a Benny is not one that is universal, but it does represent a potentially universal idea. The idea that you can go to a place and find a sister, a mentor, a safe space, or a challenge. Despite what we did together or apart, one thing we did share is that everyone here came to understand ourselves on a deeper and more meaningful level. And that's what we are here today to celebrate. When I found out I was going to be the commencement speaker, it was around the time of spring break. I was at home laying on the couch asking my parents if they had any ideas on what I should say. My dad looked at me and asked what St. Ben's means to me. I thought for a second and then responded, St. Ben's has been my happy place and a place that I have always found comfort in. He then asked me what else I find comfort in and is my happy place. I answered half jokingly, oh, it's my baby blanket. My parents then suggested that I bring my baby blanket with me up on stage. So here it is. Even at 22 years old, when your parents give you advice, I should probably still listen to them. But in all seriousness, and as cheesy as that just was, the things that bring us comfort, such as a baby blanket, a person, or a place, aren't who we are. Like many of us, in a blink of an eye, we went from watching movies with roommates and studying in the library to this moment right now. With any luck, these friendships, memories, and lessons that we have learned are not done after the 4 years, but will sustain us throughout the rest of our lives. They will be what we wrap around ourselves in times of despair and in times of delight. For me, this is what I'm celebrating today. I'm celebrating finding my place of comfort and making St. Ben's a home. I'm celebrating the friends I have met, the faculty I have learned from, and the challenges I have faced. But most importantly, I am celebrating how St. Ben's manifested the confidence and courage to be myself. These are the things I want seared into my memory from this moment of my life. Now, I cannot speak for everyone and recognize that not everyone would categorize their experience in these terms. Nonetheless, I hope we have all been able to come away with something that we want to remember from our time here. We still face real challenges in our world and community here, and will continue to face challenges and barriers after we leave St. Ben's. However, the rule of Benedict reminds us that we each have self-worth and human dignity. I hope that we will all leave here remembering to have empathy for one another, to work towards justice, to listen, and to care. As we graduate today, we celebrate our achievements, victories, and the memories that we created. Some of us will feel immense joy as we walk across the stage today towards what is next, and some will feel it as bittersweet. Some of us will experience anxiety and stress, and some will feel it as a long time coming. No matter what those emotions are, my hope is we can remember what we all shared here, and also those things we did not share. The things that made each of our experiences uniquely our own. Being here at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University not only forced us to grow in ourselves, but it also taught us to find courage, ignite curiosity, and enact the confidence that was within us all along. So today, let's celebrate. Celebrate the accomplishments, the memories, and where our journey will take us next. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Today's program lists 406 candidates for the baccalaureate degree. The College of St. Benedict is happy to recognize these degree candidates. It is understood that the appropriate degrees are earned by the candidates who successfully complete all requirements for that degree by the end of the scholastic year. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise? Dr. Mary Dana Hinton, President of the College of St. Benedict, these students are now presented to you for conferral of the appropriate degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, and by the authority vested in me by the College of St. Benedict Board of Trustees, I confer upon those candidates whose names appear in the commencement program the appropriate Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees indicated, with all the attendant rights and privileges thereof, of which the degrees given to them shall be forever the testimony. Dr. Barb May, Academic Dean, please come forward and assist with the presentation of diplomas. I ask Dr. Terrence Check, Dean of the Faculty, to come forward to read the names of our candidates for degrees.
May I ask the audience to withhold applause, please, until all candidates have received their degree. We begin with the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts with honors egregia cum laude. Grace Marie Bandel. Redate Negede Lewi. Megan Rebecca Netzel. Kathleen Deborah Rainkins. Kara Lynn Steichen. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with honors summa cum laude. Bailey Catherine Lane Alter. Celia Ann Carlisano. Kylie Rose Carr. Emily Ruth Ice. Bridget Ann Erickson. Megan Marie Gummenden. Sarah Jane Goranowski. Catherine Ann Hurd. Isabel Abraxas Hewitt Link. Eliana Elizabeth Jacobson. Michaela Jo Carls. Sarah Kate Cole. Madeline Ann Crummell. Maddie Marie McGarvey. Allison Elaine McGraw. Faye Elizabeth McGuire. Alexandria Danielle Nelson. Rachel Lisbeth Nelson. Shia Marie Nelson. Haley Marie Olson. Kennedy Elizabeth Pites. Cassidy Catherine Pelkey. Rachel Marie Perry. Megan Anthony Perzer. Jana Eileen Marie Quick. Caitlin Colleen Riley. McKenna Quinn Rennie. Justine Mary Reverman. Corin Nicole Seehusen. Cassidy Lynn Sharp. Allison Avery Stiller. Jessica Nicole Thwaites. Abigail Elizabeth Ward. Danielle Marie Whippler. Augie McKenna Witkowski. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honors Magna Cum Laude. Elizabeth Lynn Ames. Ellen Frances Arnold. Grace Lorraine Arrington. Emily Ann Baker. Danielle Patricia Berg. Megan Elizabeth Cleary. Emily Christine Corbett. Sarah Marie Dischinger. Rebecca Mary Franta. Mary Elizabeth Welch Gatecoat. Ashlyn Gina Geister. Jada Marie Gilbert. Lydia Joy Glenn. Kelly Elizabeth Heimer. Caitlin Lorraine Hendrickson. Laura Elizabeth Jennison. Leah Colleen Cole. Sierra Gorney Lammy. Megan Loretta Mukhtari. Ellen Rosamund Munschauer. Jamie Marie Muskie. Olivia Rose Newgard. Claire Abigail O'Connick. Kelsey Ann Olson. Molly Faith Poss. Morgan Faye Pierce. Jamie Therese Purdy. Sharon Shekinah Quamber. Carmen Elizabeth Roscos. Sophie Ann Sampson. Alexandra Lynn Schiffler. Ashley Celeste Thompson. Rachel Lynn Vernig. Maricela Hernandez Weber. Hannah Elizabeth Weiss. Sophia Marie Woods. Nicole Rose Zaff. Morgan Tobin Zeleny. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honors Cum Laude: Laura Elizabeth Berry, Katrina Lydia Biak, Melissa Rose Bondas, Abigail Elizabeth Borgmeyer, Marissa Catherine Eckrich, Brianna Lee Gates, Anna Rose Gutnecht, Aranza Dominique Hernandez Chaidi, Marin Louise Kester, Catherine Suzanne Larson, Maria K. Leibel, Grace Phyllis Livermore, Sydney Catherine Lura, Moko Matsumoto, Riley Marie Medelberg, Natalie K. Miller, Anna Louise Norris, Megan Marie Ortiz Casarin, Madeline Louise Padula, Emerita Palencia, Megan Lee Pearson, Kyla Lynn Porter, Emily Jane Redden, Rachel Marie Sharp, Haley Marie Shoemaker, Esty Elizabeth Sieben, Danica Ishler Simonet, Keandra Nicole Stokes, Abigail Louise Trudel, Elizabeth Jane Varberg, Catherine Mary Irene Wolmering, Brianna Lee Ziemer. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honors Summa Cum Laude: Mary Catherine Lindell, Abigail Marie Martins, Molly Dagnan McGrain, Madeline Ann Pagel, Carly Ann Seamers, Claire Emma Stile, Kristen Marie Whitaker. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honors Magna Cum Laude: Megan Lee Albertson, Natalie Lynn Amundsen, Emma Mary Louise Becker, McKay Lee Basut, Emmeline Denise Brudwick, Elizabeth Ann Honnold. Megan Paige Lawrence. Sydney Taylor Wrench. Abby Patricia Spanier. Isabella Lee Stang. Marissa Elizabeth Tucci. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science with honors cum laude. Heather Marie Borchert. Emma Rose Lichtig. Alana Rose Murphy. Katarina Helen Podwells. Hannah Christine Renicky. Kendra Christine Saponiak. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Kadra Abdirazak Ahmed. Mulki Abdulrahman Ali. Augusta Dasu Allen. Megan Sarah Aller. Elizabeth Alvarez. Haley Elizabeth Anderson. Stephanie Rose Anderson. Tegan K. Anderson. Emily Louise Antony. Kelsey Lynn Asleson. Skylar Jade Alt. Emma Marie Backus. Claire Frances Baker. Amelia Ree Barkley. Priscilla Barrientos. Megan Ann Barta. Theodosia Felicia Bastian. Hannah Rose Bauman. Madeline Noel Belkey. Madison Eiley Behrens. Elizabeth Jane Burning. Selena Ajanim Boateng. Claire Rose Boatman. Lene Bow. Alyssa Apollonia Brown. Jewel Therese Buddy. Catherine Ray Bolinek. Brittany Michelle Bizdock. Julia Elizabeth Carley. Elizabeth Carazal. Sai Cheng. Catherine Evelyn Commerce. Giselle Cortez Hernandez. Megan Regina Cowan. Morgan Michelle Craig. Marielle Lucille Culleton. Megan M. Cummings. Rachel Drew Darling. Maritza Delgado. Amethyst Relissa Demerit. Kate Elizabeth Deming. Lydia Margaret DeMorit. Catherine Emmanuel DeSere. Remington Lynn Dayak. Megan Louise Dierberger. Victoria Ann Duranka. Madeline Sue Dockery. Caitlin Marie Doctor. Daisy Doriz Dominguez. Grace Ryan Donovan. Lucy Ellen Dornbach. Michaela Jo Dufranto. Brooke Mallory Doomer. Elizabeth Frances Durbin. Jessica Nicole Edwards. Erin Nicole Eichmeyer. Kylie Ray Eklund. Sophie Frances Elzenbast. Maria Cristal Encarnacion. Alexandria Rose Erickson. Hallie Karen Erickson. Lydia Joy Farmer. Madison Elizabeth Farver. Leslie Butte Fensky. Adriana Iris Ferretti. Sarah Margaret Fisher. Evelyn Bridget Flaherty. Gayla Gabriela Flores. Courtney Nicole Fogarty. Madison Isabel Frerick. Johanna Lauren Frisbee. Chastity Monique Fuller. Kaylee Sophia Gallagher. Gladys Galvez. Kayla Denali Gardner. Anna Rose Garrison. Bree Jordan Gibbous. Sarah Julia Gorman. Shannon Moore Govern. Sarah Lael Griffin. Ashley Nicole Grebner. Elizabeth Frances Greiger. Samantha Jean Halseth. Maya Nichelle Hapke. Caitlin Elizabeth Harvey. Claire Elizabeth Hasselman. Jessica Lee Heinen. Elizabeth Lynn Henning. Kateri Anderson Hymans. Abigail Rose Hillier. Kelly Rose Holman. Gina Marie Honeck. Julie Ann Hansa. Elizabeth Margaret Hoppy. Mackenzie Ray Horrigan. Macy Clarice Hurley. Taylor Lee Ilgen. Wendy Chidera Itageti. Susan Marie Iverson. Amanda Kaylin Jakes. Stephanie Marie Jester. Alexis Rose Jungles. Amanda Kimnath Keogh. Madeline Rose Kinney. Rachel Ann Klosterman. Jessica Elizabeth Kosurik. Madeline Marie Kobnick. Heidi Nicole Koenig. Sophie Ann Koloski. Mackenzie Ann Cool. Gabrielle Moore Kunze. Emma Jane La Laverne. Mary Kathleen Lara. Megan Louise Laraway. Amber Lynn Lauer. Paige Marie Laudiger. Margaret Diane Lewis. Ying Li. Haley Lynn Listman. Ella Meredith Lindberg. Emily Anna Marie Lindgren. Shade Christina Lockhart Bain. Caitlin Jean Loeffler. Sarah Jean Lummel. Anna Guadalupe Lopez. Alyssa Marie Luwaji. Brianna Lynn Lovato. Lexus Tamilo Lowell. Alejandra Lozano. Keisha Elaine Madden. Megan Jean Mahan. Jessica Fair Malloy. Taylor Marie Mann. Macy Cindy K. Manning. Kayla Marie Marion. Lauren Mackenzie Matthews. Manita Minakanet. Sydney Ellen Meyer. Madison Nicole Michaelich. Kaylee Elise Mikolajczyk. Julia Lee Miller. Kenise Sandra Miller. Sydney Joe Miller. Sarah Margaret Minahan. Jerian Kathleen Mitchell Jones. Hannah Jane Moen. Raquel Marie Mose. Anile Morales Robles. Shakira Alejandra Moranta. Daviette Senna Mulba. Dorette B. Naba. Courtney Marie Nelson. Jessica Janelle Nelson. Victoria Jean Nieders. Kristen Elizabeth Ober. Mariah Jean Ogden Kellington. Anaí Itzel Ortiz Acosta. Wende Oshe Bansu. Stephanie Marie Palmer. Chevelle Emma Palomino. Sabrina Gabrielle Patlan. Samantha Patricio. Saw E. Paw. Ashley Brittany Payne. Victoria Rose Pearson. Anna Olivia Peichel. Michaela Lynn Pellegrine. Evelyn Perez. Danielle Jean Perry. Claire Elise Funenstein. Sylvia Anusan Pendanovong. Megan Elizabeth Pinkowski. Hattie Catherine Powers. Nicole Ann Paraska. Laura Rose Precourt. Catherine Ann Rabenberg. Lauren Victoria Redmond. Mariah Jo Reed. Angelica Renteria. Hillary Joy Rethlake. Anna Brenda Rivera. Sydney Elizabeth Robinson. Allison Amelia Rail. Charisma Alexis Andrea Roll. Ina May Ranabam. Claire Elizabeth Roth. Abigail Kathleen Rotjakov. Allison Marie Ruprecht. Megan Marie Rinda. Rachel Salinas Almaraz. Lindsay Nicole Sanchez. Fatu Awa Sane. Wanisha Alexis Sawyer. Josephine Marie Schmidt. Shelby Lynn Louise Schneider. Taylor Ray Schreiner. Megan Lynn Schrader. Elizabeth Ann Schultz. Madison Key Sharp. Okay. Samira Sheikh. Jingwen Xu. Monisha Sydney Smith. Paula Alejandra Solis. Kennedy Jerry Stace. Tiffany Marie Stumpf. Katarina Paulina Sulsley. Sophia Elena Aguilar Sura. Haley Lynn Tanner. Kia Tao. Kaju Tao. Ya Tao. Josie Elizabeth Thielen. Angeliette Marie Thomas. Catherine Elizabeth Timmerman. Jacqueline Torres. Ivy Blowing Tran. Shaylee Kristen Tripp. Marissa Lee Trojak. Emily Ann Alschmid. Shannon Van Dusarts. Sophie Marie Van Patter. Amy Mai Mua Vang. Belinda Vang. Jia Vang. Christy Young Vang. Christine Vang. Lore Vang. Shua Vang. Katie Jean Vesledal. Gwendolyn Antonia Vigliaturo. Cynthia Pater Vu. Michaela Teresa Wagner. Kelly Elizabeth Wade. Andrea Lauren Walter. Lynn Wong. Minji Wang. Haley Louise Wana. Allison Marie Ware. Alyssa Catherine Wentworth. Lisa Marie Wetstein. Kayla Marie Wunderlich. Vu Xiang. Ashley Young. Maihua Yang. Melissa Yang. Maggie Christine Young. Zheng Jia. Madeline Ann Zinkin. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science: Sydney Lynn Anderson, Claire Elizabeth Benz. Alexis Nicole Bombardo. Stephanie Brink. Mackenzie Catherine Butenhoff. Megan Rose Deans. Jenna Lee Deegan. Brianna Nicole Eglin. Claire Elizabeth Gannon. Erin Louise Garretts. Hannah Marie Glynn. Amanda Karen Graff. Nicole Jane Gevremont. Caitlin Louise Harrell. Marin Jane Jazuski. McKenna Lynn Magas. Kylie Alexa Miller. Barbara Isabel Presadio Sanchez. Hannah Elizabeth Renner. Rachel Nicole Schreier. Madison Patricia Stace. Jessica Ann Stanzlaski. Marissa Ann Vernig. Please join me in a round of applause for our graduates.
To you, the graduates of the class of 2019, congratulations. As president of the St. Ben's Alumni Board, I am delighted to officially welcome you to the Alumni Association, an amazing group of more than 24,000 women in the United States and around the world. This is the Benny Network, a vibrant and dynamic group of women who are our colleagues, mentors, and our closest friends. Guided by the values we learned at St. Ben's, you and I are destined to make a difference in the communities where we live and work. I am excited to watch your futures unfold, and I look forward to hearing about your accomplishments. I encourage you to come back to campus often because St. Ben's will always be your home. Congratulations to each of you, and welcome to the Benny Alumni Association.
I invite the graduating members of the Women's Choir and the Chamber Choir to come forward to sing the alma mater, St. Benedict's Ever.
Such guardian of truth, diffuse. And now in praise and thanksgiving, we pray to our loving God. God of all creation, source of wisdom and giver of all that is good, we ask your continuous blessing on these newest graduates of the College of St. Benedict. It is with deep joy and admiration that we acknowledge these women who have lived and learned among us. Bless them all and give them what they need to fulfill the hopes and dreams that abound in their hearts today. May God be praised by the achievement of these graduates. Bless them with self-assurance as they live out the qualities of this educational institution that is steeped in the liberal arts and the heritage of the Catholic Benedictine tradition. O God of our past and God of our present, this college and its graduates are witnesses to your guidance and everlasting love. Bless these new graduates with steadfast confidence as they take on new roles in our society as professionals and leaders. Guide them in their decisions, their priorities, and inclusivity. May all their endeavors foster their own spiritual, social, and intellectual development, as well as the common good. And as they find their place in the world, may they live with integrity and boldness. May they live with hopeful hearts and forever see this campus as their home, where renewal, hospitality, and community are their heritage. And God of all goodness, we ask your continued blessing on all those who have supported these women in their achievement toward graduation. Keep them safe in your love. And may peace and joy reign in all of our hearts and our minds today, now and forever. Amen.